What is going on, everyone? My name's Boit, and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology, the Titans action spawning in the red color, playing as Isis. His name is Kvoth. His opponent today in the blue color, playing as Odin. His name is Yoshii. Yoshii, the dinosaur everyone wants to ride, starting with the dwarf start here, delaying the hunting dogs. This is the modern hunting dogs build. Not modern hunting dogs build. The modern Norse build. The modern Odin build. Absolutely crazy. Love to see this one here from Yoshii. It does get you started off really, really strong, and you can cause a lot of problems. Anyways, we'll see how it's all going to go. Kvoth here deciding to go in with Isis. We have been seeing Kvoth trying to make the Isis work of late. Isis is definitely a strong god against Odin in particular. There's a couple of matchups which Isis is going to prosper in, and that definitely against Odin is a strong matchup for Odin. Definitely not an auto win by any stretch of the imagination. You can go through Anubis and make Anubites. You can go for a standard Ancestors Eclipse timing push. You can just play standard 2 town center, 3 town center shenanigans and try and find a win where that's concerned. But when it all comes down to it, Odin has got all the tools that he needs to be able to deal with Isis if you play it correctly. You have to be able to play around your weaknesses, though. Things like if, for example, Kvoth decides to go through Anubis, all Yoshii needs to do on this map here is wall up, grab this town center, and just give the map over to the Isis player, but you know that it's fine because you're going to be able to push out with things like Frost Giants and or even just rushing straight to the Mythic Age to get yourself access to Fire Giants. Now, that's another problem that Norse has to deal with. Norse's answer to flying units is very, very difficult if you don't prepare for it. But if you prepare for it, say you have access to Trolls, or you have access to Ballista, or you have access to Mass Towers, or Hill Forts, or Fire Giant, you're going to be able to deal with these sorts of things very, very easily. So things like Phoenix, if the Norse player can get to the Mythic Age around the same time that the Isis player gets to the Mythic Age, very, very possible. If you play around it, you read your opponent's strategy nicely, you can just simply make Fire Giants and deal with whatever your opponent is going to be doing there. So the ball is 100% in Kvoth's court to try and dictate what must happen in this game, and therefore the entirety of this game is going to come down to Yoshii's decision making in this game. So we'll see what Yoshii's going to be going for. Right now, Yoshii opening up with the temple in the forward position here, already starting that Hersa out before he finishes up advancing to the next age. You can see he's just about to get the food he needs to advance. I love the early... Oh, he's getting another dwarf here as well. So a little bit of a delayed advance time here from Yoshii. A bit surprised to see that, but honestly, advancing late here with Odin, if you're already starting Hersa, I don't think it matters that much. I think that advancing late here is completely fine. The problem here for Yoshii, somewhat of the problem here for Yoshii, as we see Heimdall's got a choice from Yoshii, is that Kvoth is already out in the center of the map with 10 villages. Now, 10 villages is a difficult thing to actually beat with only a handful of Hersa. So even if Yoshii went fast to the second age here and moved in with, say, 3 Hersa, the villages with 10 villages, you could actually turn around and shank that back without losing any villages, especially because we've seen Heimdall has got a choice and not Freya having the access to the early Sphinx is kind of a big deal here. As we do see, the monument is up. The house is coming up over here. Kvoth is also getting himself Flood of the Nile villages on wood already here. This is a very, very late advance time here from Kvoth as he's cutting villager production there. He wants to advance to the next age as fast as he possibly can. He's 3 food short there as he's going to be able to advance now, and he will be picking Anubis. Oh, no. Alrighty, this is where things get spicy here. 1. Yoshii has gone through Heimdall, not Freya, so he doesn't have access to He doesn't have access to the Valkyrie, which does deal with that early, I say early Anubite. But here's the thing, Kvoth is advanced so absurdly late here to the classical age that Yoshii should be well and truly able to get set up here as we see the villagers pulling back home as Anubis is coming in. There are all of these hippopotamus over here. There's also these zebra on that location, as well as a potential town center here for Kvoth to be grabbing. As all the villagers come back, we do see Kvoth has got himself 400 gold. He's got himself the monument to the villagers, no monument to the soldiers up yet. So a little bit behind in terms of total favor that he could be gathering. But in terms of early game build orders here for Yoshii, for Kvoth, I should say, this is a very, very inefficient builder. Lots of resources in the bank right now, not spending them all too much. We do see the villagers now moving over onto this town center. A very, very delayed town center. The unit's already sitting over here for Yoshii. He might be wanting to grab this town center as well. He sees the Anubis, kind of knows what he should do. To me, I feel like this town center is the safe one to grab. Grabbing this forward one, just going to bring your forward base closer to your opponent, causing a lot of problems there. As we do see the Anubite now coming through, we'll be scouting this one out. And honestly, what is this town center getting for Yoshii at this point? Not really a whole lot. There's a gold mine up here. There's some gazelle over on that location. That's the Anubite going to be moving around. We still haven't seen any attempt at any walls here for Yoshii. He's up in the top corner of the map, eating himself some zebra. The Hersa, are they still getting built? No, Yoshii isn't building anything here. He might just simply be rushing the next age here after all is said and done, which might be a good idea here for Yoshii. Funnily enough, he might actually hit the second age or third age, I should say, before Kvoth can hit the third age here, even with the kind of delayed town center and all of the other good stuff at this point. We do see a relic over here that's been kind of ignored for the time being. Pandora's box, minus 25% in terms of the myth unit training time, as we do see that Kvoth has spotted one of Yoshii's Einhiyar there, as the Anubite's coming in. The barracks is now out, as some axemen definitely going to be coming through here, as we do see one Hersa coming in, getting a little bit of damage over here. As Yoshii is going for a third town center here, ladies and gentlemen. This is very, very greedy from Yoshii. Will he be able to make it work, as he's now starting to make some throwing axemen here? He's throwing the walls up, trying to keep Kvoth in his base. One of the big weaknesses of IS's classical fighting is that he cannot push through buildings very easily at all, or they cannot push through buildings at all very easily, because you get those axemen, they have a low amount of hack damage, so you can't pick off buildings. So Yoshii is playing this very interestingly here, as the Hersa getting caught out of position very, very badly there, as he gets sniped down as he was trying to finish off that wall, not needing to actually do that. As the town center over here is up, villagers going to be pushing forward. The problems here for Yoshii, and it's a small problem, but it's the gold mines are kind of difficult here for Yoshii. He does have this gold mine over here next to the town center, but this gold mine over here with some raids coming through could be a problem, as the throw and axeman is sitting on this position here, as the axeman spearman coming through, random gatherer pops out, can drag the rhinoceros underneath this town center. The other thing that's a problem here for Kvoth is, because he's gone for Anubis, he's not going to have the oomph that comes from Ancestors Eclipse in this game, and he doesn't have shifting sands because he's playing as Isis, so he can't like steal this back town center or something either. So he needs to get to the second age. He needs to get to the heroic age here to get access to siege to make any sort of push here work. As the unit's now moving in to Yoshii's base, Yoshii might need to think about getting himself watchtowers here at some point, as Kvoth does spot the gold mines. He's starting to scout around inside of the base of Yoshii. If you were to look at kind of where Kvoth, has been able to scout, really not that many places here in this game, as we do see Yoshii backing up here. Walls can come down. The boom here for Yoshii, very, very big, but Yoshii about to get pushed off of this hunt. He's going to have to retreat away from here very, very fast, as the Rhino does finish up there. He's going to get a little bit of a warning before the units come in, pulling back in over onto this town center. Plenty of Rhino over here for him to boot, as Kvoth has managed to sneak out onto this Rhino as well. So he's able to eat that kind of in a position where he otherwise might not be able to, as now Yoshii is pushing in. He's found some walls here. Kvoth has found some walls here, but there is a gold mining operation going on here by Kvoth, as Kvoth going to be able to snipe down those raiding cavalry. All of those raid units right now kind of out of position here in this game. As the dwarves finish up on this gold mine, they're going to start moving over onto this gold mine very, very shortly here, as the units can now move through and start raiding the gold mine of Kvoth. Kvoth has left his home gold mine a little bit here in advance. And Yoshii, a little bit too out of sorts here, not focusing 100% on his army, as now the raiding cavalry is starting to flood through. And look at Yoshii, he's almost able to advance to the next stage, whereas Kvoth, quite a way away. He's got 500 food in the bank, and he's getting raided on this gold mine. The villagers are going to be helping out quite a bit here. Yoshii might need to be retreating away from this one for the time being, and just taking the idle time that he's caused, re-heal back up with Odin's healing, or potentially get himself access to some upgrades for his raiding cavalry here. But he will be able to advance really, really soon. I don't see an armory anywhere here just yet for Yoshii, as he's getting everything down here. No armory just yet. So a bit of a mistake here from Yoshii. Definitely wants to be able to advance at this point, given he's got 1,200 food, 1,300 food, 900 gold in the bank, as he is going to be throwing down that armory right away. Meanwhile, the raid's coming back in. The town's going to be able to deal with that spearman very, very easily there, as a unit does get kind of caught out of position ever so slightly there, as now the armory is up. The second age will be coming through, and guess what Yoshii has? He's got an answer to Nephthys. Nephthys is coming through for Kvoth. Somehow Kvoth here managed to advance before Yoshii, but it's not going to be that big of a deal. Skadi is on the way. Full population is going to be on the way here for Kvoth, for Yoshii as well, as this town center on the back, very difficult here for Kvoth to get onto. The gold mine over here getting pushed back, as where is Kvoth going to be getting gold? This gold mine he's able to get gold from at the moment. Yoshii is full commit over on this side. Kvoth is the master of this. He is so good at kind of sneaking gold mines. As we do see the Olsark finishing up the wall over here, as some villagers come over here looking to wall up on this other side of the map, preventing Yoshii from getting in onto this location. But Yoshii's got to be really, really happy about the position he's in. And if Yoshii right now can jump straight to the Mythic Age here, he won't need to be thinking about, or he could potentially just go through tier to get himself a little bit more of an advantage in this game. But if he decides to go through Balder here, he won't need to think about clicking Ragnarok straight away. He's not going to have any pressure on him that he can't deal with without Skadi. Now, here's the thing for Kvoth. Kvoth will want to trade his Nephthys, his ancestors here, for Frost. Otherwise, Frost is going to be able to be traded for a potential Son of Osiris, as we do see the Heimdall Undermine getting utilized there onto the Migdol stronghold, as the villagers coming through into this position as well. We do see that the Pharaoh has been targeted down here, as the villagers trying to shank down this Migdol stronghold. It's almost out of HP here, as the villagers coming through, the Frost Giant coming into this position. Yoshii has got such a huge advantage here, as heavy cavalry coming through as well. Yoshii is not thinking about that Mythic Age at all here, as the villagers making a retreat here, and Kvoth drops both of his god powers, and Yoshii comes through and says, sorry, not today here. No Isis victory for you in this matchup on Watering Hole. And Yoshii claims game number 1 with very, very strong play here from Yoshii. Kvoth was like very much out of sorts here with this Isis. I don't think that the game plan that Kvoth had in this game was the way that it needed to go. If you want to play Isis against Norse, you got to start thinking about advancing fast, attacking early, attacking strong, being aggressive, preventing town centers from getting up. And if you're going for any sort of classical fight here, but Kvoth here, he played it safe, he played it defensively, he advanced late, he got his town center up late. He's super far behind on economy here. And Yoshii, he didn't get touched here. The advantage of Anubis against Norse is that, well, there's two things that happen when you pick Anubis. One, your economy goes out the window because you don't get access to Sacred Cats, you don't get access to Ads of Wet, you don't get access to the stronger armies. That's also technically economy there, because the snakes just aren't that useful. You don't get access to the economy. And life gets really, really tough for an Isis player who goes Anubis and doesn't get any damage done with their Anubis. Very, very similar to a Zeus player who goes for Hermes with Centaur and doesn't get any damage done with the Centaur. The whole idea of going for these units is you're investing resources into to try and get some damage done on your opponent. If you don't get it, you're behind. And Yoshii knows this. He's calmly grabs both the town centers in the middle. It's just something I've been saying to do for quite some time. When your opponent grabs that back town center and you've got the map control because you're playing as Atlantean or you're playing as Norse, just grab the forward town center unless there is some threat of a timing attack. And with the way that Kvoth played this game, Yoshii knew no threat of a timing attack, no Ancestor's Eclipse, no fast heroic here off of 2 town centers was going to be a threat. Can happily grab that town center, take the middle of the map, prevent Kvoth's classical fight from getting anything done here, and cleanly gets a gold star of some variety. First game for Yoshii. It's a best of 3. If you guys are enjoying this series, enjoying this game, please consider hitting the follow on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTube, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next game.